The wastewater coming from a community can give an insight about human trends going on in that community. So when people flush their toilets, they are not just eliminating waste. They are sending down an incredible amount of data which flows along with that waste through the pipe and end up in a wastewater treatment plant. Samples of this wastewater can then be taken and analyzed in the lab to get an understanding about these trends of human activities going on in that community. This approach is called wastewater-based epidemiology. In 2020, this very approach was used by researchers to track the trend of COVID-19 and identify the hotspots of COVID. Then this information was communicated to healthcare authorities who then implemented certain measures like advising people to go and get tested because they live in the hotspots of COVID. Well, the pandemic has ended, but this same approach is still used today to monitor several other infectious diseases. But this approach only tells us what is happening now. How then can we predict what is going to happen next? And how can we tell communities that are vulnerable and those that are safe? This is where my research comes in. I study antibodies in wastewater. Antibodies are proteins that our bodies make to protect us from infectious diseases. And these antibodies also get eliminated alongside human waste and ends up in a treatment plant. I take samples of this wastewater, analyze them in the lab, and I look at the trend of antibodies over time from different communities. My data can tell communities that are vulnerable and at what point they are vulnerable. I then communicate my findings to public health authorities who can implement certain measures like ramping up their vaccination campaign. Ultimately, my research makes sure that public health resources is distributed evenly in different communities, and in case of any outbreak within the community, my research makes sure that public health system does not get overwhelmed. Thank you.